Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. Your body is not the beginning of your health story. It is the final chapter. Long before pain shows up, long before energy fades, long before healing begins, something else happens first. A thought is accepted, a belief is felt, and the moment your mind agrees with it, your body starts working to make it real. Your mind is the first place health is created. Most people spend their lives trying to fix the body while ignoring the messages they have been sending it every single day. They say, "My body is weak, illness runs in my family, I never feel good," or "This is just how I am." And they repeat these ideas so often that the mind stops questioning them. Once the mind accepts something as true, the body doesn't debate it. The body obeys. It adjusts chemistry, posture, breathing, energy levels, and even immune response to match what the mind believes. Think about this carefully. Your body is always listening. Every thought you repeat, every emotion you hold, every story you tell about yourself becomes an instruction. Stress is not just mental pressure, it becomes inflammation. Fear is not just a feeling, it tightens muscles, weakens digestion, and lowers immunity. On the other hand, calm is not just peace of mind, it improves sleep, balances hormones, and supports healing. The body does not separate thoughts from physical reality, it translates them. From the moment you wake up, your inner dialogue begins shaping your health. If you wake up already tired in your mind, your body follows that command. If you wake up expecting pain, your nervous system prepares for it. But if you wake up believing that your body is capable, resilient, and designed to heal, something different happens. Your posture changes, your breathing deepens, your energy shifts. That belief becomes a biological signal. Science now confirms what wisdom has always known. The brain controls the body. Neural pathways strengthen whatever you repeat. When you constantly feel helpless or hopeless about your health, the brain reinforces patterns that keep you stuck. But when you repeatedly feel confidence, gratitude, and belief in recovery, the brain rewires itself. New pathways are formed. The body responds with better regulation, stronger immunity, and improved function. Healing begins in the mind before it ever shows up in the body. Many people say, "I believe I can be healthy," but deep inside they feel fear. And the body responds to what you feel, not just what you say. That's why feeling is more powerful than words. A belief that is emotionally charged becomes reality faster than one that is only spoken. When you feel something as true, when you live in it, breathe it, and expect it, your body aligns with that truth. Your past does not control your health nearly as much as your expectations do. Two people can have the same diagnosis, the same age, the same circumstances, and completely different outcomes. The difference is not luck. It is the inner environment they create. One lives in fear and limitation. The other lives in belief and possibility. The body reflects that choice. The most powerful realization is this: you are not broken. Your body is not your enemy. It has been responding faithfully to the messages it has received. The moment you change the message, the response begins to change. You don't need perfection, you need consistency. Small daily shifts in thought, emotion, and self-talk create massive long-term changes in health. When you choose to speak life over your body, when you choose to feel strength instead of weakness, when you choose to expect healing instead of decline, you activate systems inside you that were always waiting to work in your favor. Your body was designed to heal, adapt, and renew, but it needs permission from the mind. So today, make a decision. Watch your thoughts, feel your beliefs. Ask yourself what truth you have been living in, because whatever you feel is true does not stay in the mind. It travels into your cells, your nerves, your blood, and your breath. Your mind is the first place health is created, and when you change what lives there, your entire body follows. Take a moment and notice what you are feeling right now. Not what you are thinking, but what you are feeling in your body. Tightness, ease, heaviness, calm, tension, warmth. Those sensations are not random. They are messages. Emotions are not just feelings that pass through the mind. They are biological signals that move through the body, shaping your health in real time. From the second an emotion is felt, the body responds. Fear is not just an idea. It accelerates the heart, shortens the breath, tightens muscles, and releases stress hormones. Peace is not just a mood. It slows the heartbeat, deepens breathing, and activates repair and recovery systems. Every emotion you experience sends chemical instructions through your nervous system, your hormones, and your immune cells. Your body reacts first and asks questions later. Many people believe emotions belong only to the mind, but the body knows otherwise. Long-held stress settles into the shoulders, the stomach, and the lower back. Unexpressed grief shows up as fatigue or heaviness in the chest. Chronic anger tightens the jaw and raises blood pressure. These are not coincidences. They are signals that the body has been receiving the same emotional message again and again. Your nervous system does not understand logic. It understands safety and threat. When you live in constant worry, the body remains in survival mode. Digestion slows, immunity weakens, sleep becomes shallow, and inflammation increases. The body is not malfunctioning. It is protecting you based on the emotional environment you live in. When safety is felt, the body shifts into healing mode. Cells regenerate faster, hormones balance, energy returns. What makes emotions so powerful is their repetition. A single moment of stress won't damage your health, but stress that becomes familiar will. When the body experiences the same emotional state repeatedly, it adapts to it. That emotional pattern becomes your baseline. Over time, the body begins to operate as if that state is normal. This is how emotions silently become physical conditions. Hope, gratitude, and calm are just as biological as fear and stress. When you feel gratitude, your brain releases chemicals that improve heart function and lower inflammation. When you feel calm, the immune system becomes more effective. When you feel supported, the body repairs itself more efficiently. These emotions are not soft or imaginary. They are measurable forces inside the body. The challenge is that many people suppress emotions instead of processing them. But unexpressed emotions do not disappear. They settle. The body becomes the storage unit for what the mind avoids. This is why listening to your emotions matters. They are early warning systems telling you what needs attention long before illness appears. You don't have to eliminate negative emotions to be healthy. You have to understand them. Every emotion carries information. Fear asks for safety. Anger asks for boundaries. Sadness asks for release. When emotions are acknowledged and allowed to move, the body relaxes. Healing is not about controlling emotions. It is about letting them complete their message. Awareness changes everything. The moment you pause and notice how an emotion feels in your body, you interrupt automatic patterns. You give your nervous system new information. Even a few deep breaths taken with awareness can shift your internal chemistry. The body is always responding to what you feel in the present moment. Your emotions are constantly shaping your biology, whether you notice or not. They are not your enemy. They are messengers. When you learn to listen instead of resist, to feel instead of suppress, your body responds with balance and strength. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, anxious, or heavy, remember this. Your body is speaking to you in the language of emotion. When you change how you relate to your feelings, you change the signals your body receives. And when the signals change, your health begins to change with them. Think about the strongest beliefs you hold about your body, your health, and your life. You did not wake up one day and suddenly decide them. They were formed slowly, through repetition. A thought repeated enough times stops sounding like an opinion and starts feeling like a fact. And once a belief feels like a fact, the body begins to live as if it is true. This is how repetition turns belief into physical reality. Every day you rehearse ideas about yourself. I get sick easily. I'm always tired. My body doesn't recover like it used to. At first, these are just sentences in the mind, but when repeated daily, they become instructions. The brain wires itself around what it hears most often. Neurons that fire together, wire together. Over time, the brain builds pathways that support those beliefs, and the body follows those pathways without question. Your body is designed to adapt. That is its greatest strength, and sometimes its greatest weakness. When you repeatedly feel stress, the body adapts by staying tense. When you repeatedly expect pain, the nervous system becomes hyper-alert. When you repeatedly feel helpless, energy levels drop and motivation fades. The body is not failing you. It is responding perfectly to the patterns you have reinforced. Repetition doesn't just shape thoughts. It shapes chemistry. When a belief is repeated, the same emotional response is triggered again and again. That emotion releases the same hormones repeatedly. Over time, the body adjusts to that chemical environment as if it is normal. This is how chronic conditions often begin, not suddenly but gradually, through familiar emotional and mental states. The same mechanism works in your favor. When you repeatedly feel confidence in your body, the brain strengthens pathways linked to resilience. When you repeatedly feel gratitude, stress hormones decrease and recovery improves. When you repeatedly imagine yourself healthy and capable, The nervous system starts operating from a place of safety instead of threat. Repetition trains the body just as it trains the mind. Many people try to change their health with occasional effort. They think one positive thought will undo years of negative belief, but the body responds to what is consistent, not what is occasional. It responds to what you practice daily. Just like physical exercise reshapes muscles through repetition, mental and emotional repetition reshapes your biology. This is why habits matter more than motivation. Motivation is temporary. Repetition is permanent. What you think, feel, and say most often becomes your baseline. And once something becomes a baseline, the body works hard to maintain it, even if it's unhealthy. The good news is that baselines can be changed. The brain remains flexible throughout life. New repetitions create new patterns. At first, a new belief may feel uncomfortable or unrealistic. Saying "my body is strong" might feel false if you've believed the opposite for years. But discomfort is not failure. It is evidence of change. You are interrupting an old pattern. If you repeat the new belief long enough, especially with emotion, the brain starts to accept it. And once the brain accepts it, the body follows. Repetition is most powerful when belief is felt, not forced. It's not about pretending problems don't exist. It's about choosing where you place your focus. Each time you reinforce hope instead of fear, strength instead of weakness, you weaken the old pattern. The body begins to respond differently because it is receiving different instructions. You are practicing something every day, whether you realize it or not. You are rehearsing either limitation or possibility, and the body is faithfully turning that practice into reality. So choose carefully what you repeat. Watch your words. Notice your emotional patterns. Be patient with the process, because what you consistently believe, you eventually become. Repetition does not just change the mind, it changes the body. And through that quiet, powerful process, belief becomes physical reality. Right now, in this very moment, something important is happening. Even if you don't feel it yet, you are not trapped in the past patterns of your body or your mind. No matter how long you have believed something about your health, your energy, or your limits, that pattern is not permanent. You can interrupt it. You can choose a new truth, and the moment you do, your body begins to listen. Most people think change requires years of struggle or perfect discipline, but change actually begins with awareness. The instant you notice a thought, instead of automatically believing it, the pattern is broken. When you catch yourself saying, "This is just how I am," you create a pause. And in that pause, choice appears. The body is no longer running on autopilot. It is waiting for new instruction. Your brain is not fixed. It is adaptable, flexible, and constantly reshaping itself based on experience. This means no belief is permanent unless you keep repeating it. Old patterns feel powerful because they are familiar, not because they are true. Familiarity can feel like truth, but it isn't. The brain mistakes repetition for reality, and once you understand this, you gain control over the process. Interrupting a pattern doesn't require force. It requires direction. When a negative thought arises, you don't have to fight it. You simply redirect it. Each redirection weakens the old pathway and strengthens a new one. This is how transformation actually happens, quietly, consistently, and from the inside out. Choosing a new truth is not about denying pain or pretending challenges don't exist. It is about deciding what story you will live in. You can acknowledge discomfort while still believing in recovery. You can recognize fatigue while still expecting strength. The body responds to expectation more than circumstance. When expectation changes, behavior changes. When behavior changes, biology follows. Your body renews itself every day. Cells are replaced, tissues repair, systems recalibrate. You are literally becoming a new version of yourself all the time. The only thing that stays the same is the story you keep telling. When you change that story, you align with the natural process of renewal already happening inside you. Many people wait for evidence before they believe. They say, "Once I feel better, then I'll believe." But the body works in reverse. Belief comes first. The moment you choose a new inner truth, your nervous system relaxes, your posture shifts, your breathing changes. These small signals tell the body it is safe to move in a new direction. Healing begins quietly before it becomes visible. It may feel uncomfortable at first to choose a new truth. That discomfort is not resistance from reality. It is resistance from an old identity. You are stepping out of a familiar pattern, and the body needs time to adjust. Stay with it. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. Each day you reinforce the new truth. The old one loses its grip. You are not required to carry yesterday's beliefs into today. You are not obligated to live by a story that no longer serves you. The moment you decide to think, feel, and act differently, you send a powerful message to your body. That message says, we are changing direction. Your future health is not being shaped by one dramatic decision, but by small, repeated choices to interrupt old patterns and reinforce new ones. Every time you choose hope over fear, presence over panic, belief over doubt, you are building a new internal environment. So choose wisely. Choose intentionally. Choose compassionately. You have more power than you were ever taught to believe. You can interrupt the pattern. You can choose a new truth. And when you do, your body will begin to follow that truth. One moment, one cell, one breath at a time.